The film begins on a silent stretch of beach. Waves roll in, gently as the camera slowly closes in on a motionless figure lying face down in the sand. Before we can identify who it is, the scene abruptly shifts. We're introduced to Madison, a well-known Instagram influencer. Her life looks like a dream. Luxury hotels, tropical destinations, flawless photos, and endless admiration from her followers. She hops from country to country, documenting every moment. This time, after countless fan requests, she heads to Asia, with Thailand as her next stop. The trip was organized by her boyfriend, Ryan, who had planned to come along. But at the last minute, work gets in the way, leaving Madison to travel alone. After arriving in Thailand, Madison checks into an extravagant 5-star resort. Her days are spent creating content, posing for photos, filming videos, and even promoting a sponsored beauty product. On the surface, everything looks perfect, but when the camera lingers on her face, it's clear something's missing. Behind the smiles and filters, she's lonely. That evening, while sitting alone at the hotel bar, an older man named Rupert strikes up a conversation. He's charming, overly friendly, and quickly begins flirting. He even suggests taking her to a scenic spot nearby. Just as the interaction starts feeling uncomfortable, another young woman steps in. Her name is CW. Pretending to know Madison, she interrupts and smoothly pulls her away from the situation. Relieved, Madison chats with CW, who turns out to be a local tour guide. CW reassures her that Thailand is mostly safe, but advises her to be cautious, especially when traveling solo. Madison opens up, admitting that influencer life isn't as glamorous as it appears. The constant travel, pressure to create content, and lack of real connection are draining. She also mentions how Ryan bailed on the trip last minute. Wanting to cheer her up, CW offers to show her secret locations, places untouched by tourists, the kind of spots that could make Madison's content explode online. Tempted by the opportunity, Madison agrees. Before dawn the next day, CW takes her to a breathtaking hidden location, quiet, untouched, and almost unreal. As Madison starts snapping photos, she notices CW always avoids the camera. Madison wonders if it's because of the noticeable birthmark on CW's face. Over the following days, CW continues guiding her to stunning locations, introducing her to incredible local food, and sharing nights of partying and adventure. Slowly, Madison's guard drops. For the first time since arriving, she feels genuinely happy. Then everything falls apart. One night, Madison returns to her hotel room and immediately senses something is wrong. The door is wide open. Inside, the room has been completely ransacked. Her clothes are scattered everywhere. Her bags are emptied. Worse still, her money, valuables, and passport are gone. Terrified, she calls CW, who rushes over and helps her report the robbery to the police. The next day, CW brings Madison a passport replacement form, but the news is grim. The U.S. Embassy informs her it will take at least 2 weeks to issue a new passport. Madison panics. She has important shoots scheduled back home. Being stuck in a foreign country with no ID or money was never part of the plan. That night, she calls Ryan, hoping for comfort. She explains everything: the theft, the missing passport, and the long wait. But instead of concern, Ryan focuses on her online presence. He coldly asks how her account will grow if she misses her shoots. The comment crushes her. When she needs emotional support the most, all he cares about is social media. Hurt and angry, Madison suggests ending the relationship and hangs up. In the days that follow, she distracts herself by continuing to explore Thailand with CW. They visit jaw-dropping locations, capture stunning visuals, and Madison keeps uploading content. Her posts perform well, and CW is always there, helping frame shots and adjust angles. Yet something remains odd. CW never allows herself to be photographed. Eventually, CW invites Madison to stay at her home, a secluded house near the forest and ocean. It's quiet, isolated, and peaceful, almost too peaceful. The next morning, CW suggests something exciting: a private trip to a remote island. She owns a boat and knows the waters well. Madison doesn't hesitate. The idea sounds incredible and potentially viral. They sail across calm waters until they reach a breathtaking, deserted island. Madison is amazed and asks how CW even discovered a place like this. While exploring, she notices strange scratch marks carved into a wooden log, like someone had been marking days. She checks her phone. No signal. As night falls, they light a bonfire on the beach. Sitting by the flames, Madison reminisces about old memories, telling ghost stories with friends around fires like this. She jokes that if her friends were here, they'd probably tease her, saying CW brought her to the island to kill her. CW goes quiet. Then she smiles and replies coldly that if she ever wanted Madison dead, she wouldn't touch her. She'd simply leave her on an island no one knows about, without food, water, or escape. Madison laughs nervously, brushing it off as dark humor. She says she's a famous influencer and that her disappearance would never go unnoticed. Someone would find her. CW doesn't respond. She turns on music, dances for a bit, and eventually, they fall asleep beneath the stars. By morning, everything has changed. Before Madison wakes up, CW quietly gathers her belongings, boards the boat and leaves, just as she said she would. Madison wakes up alone, stranded, trapped on an island that doesn't exist on any map. Now the real nightmare begins. CW starts using Madison's phone to post stories, photos, and videos on her Instagram. To the outside world, Madison appears alive, active, and still traveling. But in reality, CW has stolen her life. This wasn't her first time. She had done this before, targeting solo female travelers, earning their trust, stealing their passports, and trapping them before taking over their identities. Madison had been chosen from the start. Days pass. No one realizes she's missing. CW wears her clothes, edits selfies, replies to fans, and even ignores messages from Ryan as his concern grows. She increases Madison's credit card limit, spending freely without raising suspicion. Once settled into her stolen identity, CW begins searching for her next victim. She finds another influencer named Jessica, traveling alone in Thailand. CW follows her online, joins one of her travel groups, and learns that Jessica is staying at the same hotel. That night she approaches Jessica casually, strikes up conversation, and repeats the same story, how her boyfriend abandoned her last minute, leaving her alone by the sea. Jessica believes every word. The next day, while Jessica is busy with a beach photo shoot, CW slips into her bag and steals her room key. By nightfall, history repeats itself. Jessica's belongings vanish, her passport disappears, and another woman is left trapped, while CW prepares to steal yet another life. When Jessica returns to find her belongings gone, she immediately contacts CW for help. The following day, CW takes her to the mansion she had previously claimed belonged to both herself and Madison. But upon entering, something unexpected occurs. Ryan is already there. He had flown in to surprise Madison, preparing a special welcome at the property. Since the mansion is officially in Madison's name, and Ryan had been paying the rent, he has full access. CW is momentarily caught off guard by his presence, but quickly improvises, claiming to be a close friend of Madison's, and saying she had been invited to stay there. Ryan is suspicious, but for now, he accepts the explanation. Despite her quick cover-up, CW begins to panic. Ryan's presence poses a serious threat. Madison's secret could be uncovered at any moment. The next morning, CW hatches a new plan. Using sophisticated AI voice technology, she calls Ryan for Madison's number. The voice is eerily identical to Madison's, cold, distant, and final. It tells Ryan that their relationship is over and that he must leave immediately. Something feels off to Ryan. Deep down, he refuses to believe Madison would end things without facing him. He resolves to stay, determined to wait until she appears in person to explain. Unbeknownst to him, this decision complicates CW's schemes even further. Later, at Jessica's suggestion, the trio heads out to explore nearby scenic spots. While Jessica poses for pictures, Ryan casually mentions Madison, explaining she is also an influencer. He recounts how her documents were stolen at a hotel and how CW intervened to help, bringing Madison to the mansion. As Jessica listens, a chill runs down her spine. The story mirrors her own recent experience. It sounds too familiar. Suspicion creeps in. That evening they attend a party, but Jessica stays vigilant. Quietly, she begins investigating CW and eventually sends a private message to Madison's Instagram, attempting direct contact. CW instantly notices the message and realizes Jessica is dangerously close to uncovering the truth. Panicking, she knows she must act fast. Jessica, sensing danger, quietly slips out of the party, planning to leave the mansion before CW notices. But CW is already aware. She rushes back, determined to stop her. If Jessica escapes, she'll alert the authorities and ruin everything. At the mansion, CW finds Jessica hurriedly packing. She questions her, but Jessica brushes her off. She explains the mansion feels off, and even without knowing all the details about Madison, warns CW that whatever tricks worked before won't succeed on her. Tension escalates rapidly. As Jessica turns to leave, CW violently attacks her, smashing her head against the wall. Jessica tries to crawl away, but is mercilessly killed with a swift strike to the neck using a shoe. Her body is stuffed into a suitcase, and the blood is quickly cleaned. Moments later, Ryan returns, unaware of the horror that just occurred. Meanwhile, CW begins plotting her next target, Ryan. That night she sneaks toward his room with a knife, but a notification on her phone stops her. Ryan has posted a photo at the club with a caption mentioning Jessica and Madison's strange friend, tagging both. CW's reflection is clearly visible in the background. She knows she must delete it before anyone notices. The next morning, over breakfast, CW lies casually, telling Ryan that Jessica went home. During the meal, Ryan checks Madison's social media and sees a photo of her with another man, appearing very close. The image hits him hard, making their breakup seem final, but the photo is fake. CW had edited and posted it to convince Ryan that Madison was gone. She uses the opportunity to manipulate him emotionally, suggesting Madison was never right for him. As they scroll through Madison's profile together, Ryan notices the declining quality of her recent posts and follower count. He mutters about how he helped her become a successful influencer. Later at a club, Ryan offers to mentor CW, commenting that her unique birthmark could gain her followers. She declines, and instead slips sleeping pills into his drink. As the drugs take effect, she escorts him back to the mansion. Once inside, she subtly unlocks his phone and deletes all the photos. Then, slipping off her dress, she lies beside him, creating the illusion that something happened between them. The next morning, Ryan awakens, stunned, unable to recall the previous night. As he prepares to leave, CW walks him to the station, Back at the mansion, she burns all of Madison's belongings, clothes, documents, even her passport, erasing every trace of her existence except for Madison's diary, which she keeps, captivated by the memories it holds. The story then flashes back, revealing how Ryan and Madison first met, and how he played a pivotal role in helping her rise to fame as an influencer. Returning to the present, Ryan attempts to track Madison down using her last posted photo. From it, he deduces the hotel name and rushes there, only to find that the staff doesn't recognize her. Just then, Rupert, the older man Madison had met before, approaches Ryan. When shown Madison's photo, he immediately recognizes her, and recounts how, after staying 2 days at the hotel, Madison's room was robbed and she left with a girl who had a noticeable black birthmark. But something is off. Rupert notices a detail in the photo. If it was posted 2 days ago, it couldn't be real, because it had rained that day in Thailand. Yet in the image, the sky is perfectly clear. The clue hits Ryan hard. Something is terribly wrong. He digs deeper, examining all of Madison's recent posts, photos, and videos from after the supposed robbery. When he removes a beauty filter from one of the clips, the shocking truth begins to emerge. Ryan stares in disbelief at the video. It's not Madison in the clip, it's CW. Panic hits him. Now he knows for certain that Madison is in serious danger. Without wasting a second, he rushes to the mansion, sneaking inside cautiously. The rooms appear empty, eerily quiet. The only clue left behind is CW's bag. As Ryan searches it, he finds Madison's diary. Flipping through it, he reads about a mysterious island and a boat, a terrifying hint about where she might be. Before he can process everything, CW suddenly returns. Ryan acts fast, tackling her from behind and tying her to a chair, but CW isn't scared. Calm and calculating, she begins to play mind games, warning him that contacting the authorities could backfire. She's already sent messages from Madison's phone, framing Ryan as an abuser. If the police see them, they'll believe Madison ran to escape him. Ryan grits his teeth but keeps his focus. Pulling out a knife, he demands to know what CW has done to Madison. She remains unnervingly composed. She insists she hasn't harmed Madison, at least not yet, and tempts him with the promise of taking him to her. Later, she leads Ryan toward a boat, his heart pounding with uncertainty. Then, without warning, she strikes. CW drags him into the water and brutally stabs him with the same knife she's used before, leaving him dead. Coldly, she places his body in the boat, covers it, and returns to the mansion. Using Madison's identity, she posts a fabricated story online, painting Ryan as an abusive partner. By morning, Madison's fans flood the post with angry comments, some wishing violent retribution on him. CW then sails the boat back to the remote island, intending to dispose of Ryan's and Jessica's bodies. But when she arrives, she is startled. Freshly burned wood lies nearby, a fish still skewered as if recently cooked. And there are scratch marks on a wooden log, Madison's marks, counting the days she survived. A chilling realization hits her. Madison might still be alive. Frantically, CW grabs a shovel and begins searching the island. Eventually, she discovers 2 graves and wonders whose they could be. At that moment, Madison emerges from behind and strikes, knocking CW out cold. Now we see Madison, gaunt and battered from days surviving on the island, determined and unbroken. She drags herself onto the boat and begins to sail away. CW awakens moments later and rushes to the shore, watching Madison disappear into the horizon. But instead of panic, she laughs, a chilling, deranged laugh. Deep down, she knows her end has come, just as it did for the others she had tried to destroy. No one is coming for her this time. Meanwhile, Madison sails onward, unyielding, never looking back. The story ends on that haunting note: freedom, survival, and a final twist that leaves a lingering chill.